What's up guys, welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be our January 2021 net worth update. This is the second net worth update that I'm doing for you guys. I did one last month and shared with you that we had a negative like $161,000 net worth or something like that. Yeah, I think that's what it was. And that our goal for 2021, meaning me and my husband, because we are married and so all of our income and assets and debts are combined into one family unit, is to have a zero net worth at the end of this year, meaning we go from negative all the way up to zero, which would be a change of over $161,000. Now, in order to accomplish this very ambitious goal, we would need to increase our net worth by over $13,000 a month. And so in today's video, I'm going to share with you how our net worth changed in the month of January and if we were able to meet that goal of increasing our net worth by $13,000 this month. So this is our net worth tracking spreadsheet. This is where I track all of our assets and all of our liabilities or our debts and figure out what our net worth is each month and how it's changed from month to month. So let's start off talking about our assets, which is everything that we own. So for assets, they are all in this blue-green box right here. So first of all, we've got our house. Now, last month I got a lot of questions on this because some people said that I was not calculating the value of our house correctly. And so I just wanted to talk through the math really quickly to explain to you guys how this works. So over here, we've got the value of our house. I use the Zillow value kind of. I use the lower end of the Zillow value. And because they give you a range, and so our house went from 402 to 404 during the month, which is a change of $2,000. But if you look over here, we've got the mortgage for our house and the home equity line. So our mortgage balance, ended the month at $307,989, and our home equity line is $22,235. So just because we have a mortgage doesn't mean that we don't also count the value of our house, because if our house was sold, then our mortgage and home equity line would be paid off and we would have the difference in cash. So just to kind of show you guys what that would look like, if we sold our house for that exact amount and we just paid off the liabilities and we didn't have to pay any fees or taxes or anything, which is not necessarily realistic, but if that happened, and so this was deleted out and this was deleted out and this was deleted out, and we just got cash for $73,776, which would be the difference of what our house is worth minus the liabilities on our house, that would get us to the same number that it was before. So I've got a total net worth of negative $146.20, and if we just undo those changes, then it's still negative $146.20. So I just wanted to go through that real quick because I got many comments telling me I did this wrong. So I just want to show you guys how I think about, how our house is worth. So savings, which is our emergency fund and sinking funds, we start out the month with $18,396 in those accounts, and that went up by almost $3,000 to $21,104. Next, my husband's retirement, he started out the month with $25,604 and ended the month with $26,570. The market did go up during the month, and then the last day or so of the month, it dropped drastically. So we've recovered some of this, but he contributed over $1,500 this month, but it only went up by $966 because the market did drop. But the thing is, it doesn't really matter because we're not going to touch this account for 30 plus years. So I don't really care what the market does today. As long as it's going up over the next 30 years, it doesn't really matter. Next, my retirement had a balance of $14,020, and that went up to $14,480, which was a change of $460. Again, I put in $500 into my retirement account this month, and it did drop because the investments went down. So that's why that change is less than the amount that we put in this month. My brokerage account went up by $25. It started out at $413 and went to $438. This is just an after-tax investment account that I opened with Fidelity because I found out they had a no-fee index fund that had a no minimum for investing, that was just an index fund for the total stock market. And so I was like, I want to check that out and put some money in there and see how it goes. So I've just been putting like $25 here or there. So I put $25 this month. And it didn't go up or down. So, I mean, it went up and then it went down and then it, evened out by the end of the month. Next is my daughter's 529 plan. So she is going to be 2 in May, and all the money we have ever received for her, we've put into a 529 account, which is for college for her, or it can also be used for like private school when you're in K through 12, but we plan to have her go to public school. So anyway, we'll be saving this for college. And so we got some money for Christmas that we put in January, plus we put $125 of our own money. So that account went from $3,703 to $4,072, which is really cool that her account is now over $4,000 and she's not even 2 years old. So we've already got a good head start on her college savings. Next, we've got our HSA account, which is something new that we opened this month because we have a high deductible health plan. So we're able to put money into an HSA, which unlike the FSA, it's not use it or lose it. We can use it or not, but if we don't use it, we can invest it, which is what I've done. And so we put $1,800 in and the market went down. So it's at $1,743, but you know, that's fine. We're not planning to use that money, you know, anytime soon anyway. If we do have medical expenses that come up, we may just pay out of pocket, or we might put money into the HSA and take it right out just so we can get that pre-tax savings for medical. But so far this year, we haven't had any medical expenses, so it didn't apply this month. Next is stock options. And I put zeros here because we have stock options in a company that is worth something, but we can't cash it out right now. So I'm just putting 0 until we know what it's worth or have the ability to cash it out. Hopefully one day that's a really big number, but for now it's 0. And then our cars, this is actually less than the Blue Book value. I just took the Blue Book value and then like rounded it down just to, I don't know. I don't even know if it really matters that this amount is in here. We're not going to sell our cars. I think this is what we could at least get for our cars if we sold them. My husband has a 2014 Camry. I have a 2015 Nissan Murano, and they each have about 100,000 miles on them. So they're good solid cars. We don't plan to sell them anytime soon, but I still like to put them on our net worth statement because I'm really trying to get us to that 0 net worth or positive net worth, and I just need every dollar I can get. So even if we're not planning to sell those cars, I am putting them on there because I want that little boost in getting us to our positive net worth number. So at the end of the month, our total assets went from $477,136 to $485,407. So that was an increase of $8,271. And that is even with the stock market going down at the end of the month and most of our accounts losing money. We did a really good job with savings this month, and that's exciting. Okay, so for liabilities, all of our liabilities are in this pink section right here. First of all, we've got our mortgage, and we just pay our regular payment on our mortgage. I rounded up a little bit because it's like $1,852 a month, and I just rounded up to $1,860, I think. But basically, we're just paying the regular payment on our mortgage. And so the balance at the beginning of January was $308,494, and that went down to $307,989. So in this liability section, we like these numbers to go down, whereas in the assets section, we want the numbers to go up. And so our mortgage balance went down by $505. So even though we paid like $1,800, some of that was real estate taxes, and then for the rest of the payment, a little over half went to interest and the rest went to principal, which was $505. Next, we have our home equity line, and that had a balance of $22,299. And we paid a payment that brought that down to $22,235, so that was a change of $64. Now, a couple people also mentioned on our home equity line that we should pay that off next in our debt snowball before we work on our student loans, but to me, this payment is, if we just pay interest only, is only $75 a month. I'm paying more than that because I'm paying it proportionally as if it's part of the mortgage. So I'm paying like the same amount of principal and interest as we do on our mortgage each month. So I pay $140 a month to our home equity line. But to me, because our student loan payments are $1,000 for my husband's and $2,000 a month for those payments, that is way more risky to have those loans outstanding than like $140 a month, and which is like less than $2,000 for the whole year. That's like 1 month of one of our student loans, my student loan, that we pay in the whole year of the home equity line. So to me, I don't really care having that payment, like it doesn't bother me, and so we're not planning to pay that off early at this point. We're more focused on the student loans. Next, we've got my graduate school loan, which started out at $202,129, and we paid just the regular minimum payment, and that went down to $200,658. So that was a decrease of $1,471. And next month that is going to be under $200,000 just by making the minimum payment. So that's super exciting. Then my husband's graduate school loan was at $102,681. That went down to $105,445. And that was a decrease of $2,136. So that is also just above $100,000. And actually at the time I'm filming this video, which is actually like a week into February, I've already made another payment on this, and that is actually under $100,000. So on the next month's net worth update, both of these will be have a different number at the front of them. This one will be $199,000 or less, and this one will be $99,000 or less, which is really, really exciting. And finally, my husband's graduate school loan was at $2,586. We paid that completely off, so that was a change of $2,586. So one less debt in our debt payoff, and yeah, I just can't believe this used to be like, I don't know, like 9 debts when we started, and now it's just down to these couple student loans and our house debt, which is just so awesome. I'm so proud of us. Okay, so for total liabilities, we started out the month with $638,189. We ended the month with $631,427, which was a decrease of $6,762. So our total net worth beginning January 1st was negative $161,053, as I told you guys in our net worth update last month, and we ended January going into February with a negative $146,020 net worth. So that was a change of $15,033. Woohoo, that is amazing, especially considering that we have liabilities. Like if we only had assets and no liabilities, it's much easier to have your net worth go up because you're earning interest and, you know, your investments grow. But like, for example, our house went up by $2,000 and we didn't have to do anything at all. But for liabilities, you're paying interest on that. So we paid way more than $6,700 towards debt this month, but a chunk of that went towards interest. And so to have our net worth go up by $15,000 in 1 month is amazing. That exceeds our goal of having it go up by $13,500 each month to get to that positive net worth by the end of the year. Now, if you watched my last video, which was our January monthly income report showing you how much we brought in January and where all that money went, then you'll know January was our biggest income month of our entire lives, and so that's not normal for us. And so, you know, the fact that we exceeded our goal is great, but in future months we're gonna have to work much harder to make this much progress unless, you know, the markets do much better. So anyway, just wanted to mention that because this is an abnormally high income month for us. So anyway, so that was 10.3% growth for the month. So you can see here in my little bar chart that I put together the change in net worth. So it went from negative 170 here, and then last month it was negative 161, and now we're at negative 144. So we are trending in the right direction to get up to this zero net worth and then cross this line to go shoot right up there and have a very positive net worth going all the way up to the sky's the limit. So that is it for our January 2021 net worth update. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you like the video, make sure you give it a big thumbs up. If you have any questions about anything I talked about with our assets, our liabilities, or how I calculated this, then feel free to put it in the comments below. I love to hear you guys' questions and comments about different stuff that we're doing. If you want to follow along and see if we can reach that positive net worth number by the end of 2021, then make sure you hit that subscribe button. I'd love to have you as a subscriber, and I'll see you guys soon in my next video. Bye.